One person, well, we can't get two plucked at the same time. I was going to say we'll time, see how long it takes to pluck one chicken by hand, and then we'll do a couple more and see how long it takes to do them in the plucker. How about that?
So we got two scalders.
Yep.
We scald two at once.
We'll scald two.
Can we get a third one in the pot, you think?
We can get two in probably the big pot, yeah.
We can scald three.
We can scald three, that way we can do the thing. So we need to kill three, but he's going to do that one first. Okay? So we're ready for that. Okay? So he already explained. Huh?
Gonna move it?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna move it right back here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Test it.
Hello? Hello. Okay. Well, because we need to pluck in that, they're handling it. You can stop it. Okay, so we're just trying to figure out how to do this, how to get this done, so just bear with us. Okay, so we're going to let him go ahead and do that, and then we'll do a couple more. We'll let a couple people come up here and try their hand with that. And this is Dwayne from Red Feather Farm. So he's going to cut it right behind the ears. Okay, it's pretty quick. And the important thing is to have a sharp knife. Okay, and have a bird big enough that it doesn't fall through your restraining cone. Okay. Because if they're not the right, oh, he's moving around. Look, he's got his foot out. But you want him to bleed out for a couple minutes. And they're going to love us here at the fair barn when they see blood all over the... What did you do here? This fair, I got to tell you, though, how many like this venue? I know it's hot, but how many like this place? And this is just a cool place, and the Webster County Fair and Fairgrounds and the Extension and the city, they have just been just wonderful to us, and they really, really want us to bring this back next year to this venue. So, so anyway, you could do it on both sides. You don't have to, but it's faster if you do, and because you want them to. You want them to bleed out all the way because until they're, well, if they're still drawing blood, then their heart's still like pumping. So you want all of that blood out, which is why it's nice to do them on their neck, because you bleed them out. If you cut their head off completely and they're flopping around, you're not going to get the blood all out of the meat, and that's how come you get all them bloody spots in your. But yeah, those are pretty nice big restraining cones. I think they do a turkey. Sometimes you lose the chicken right through the bottom. And I've got all kinds of presenters and stuff to do this, but you know what? This is the last thing of the last day of the last hour of this, and I'm just gonna have fun now. But we do need to get Kevin and Sarah here. Sarah was gonna help us scald. She didn't know we were gonna put her to work.
What kind of knife do you need to use to make sure
A sharp knife. Yeah, you get them from meat boning knives, or I forgot what that other little one is called. But if you buy your knives from Victronics, or from a butcher meat companies, those are the best, because it's number one, you hurt yourself and you hurt your animal if you don't have a sharp knife, just like anything. I'll say, because he's going to put his yard bird promotional rubber. Look at these. You guys got to look at these, though. These are like super super cool.
Cheryl, I can show the knives that I use.
Okay. Gary's going to show you what knives he uses. He knows more about the knives than I do.
Jalopy was the term that was used earlier, right?
His knives aren't jalopy knives.
You haven't seen them yet.
I don't know. He kind of improvises a lot.
So this is just a 4-inch boner. I don't remember. That's a Victorinox, like you were mentioning. And as far as stainless knives go, that's what I like. I don't like stainless knives. So, jalopy, right?
Pocket knife, probably.
That is an old hickory carbon paring knife, and I've just sharpened it. It works as good as anything I've used. Yeah.
I should have known.
I knew it.
And then I just use a Rapala, or that's a Berkeley fillet knife. It works good too. I use those 3.
And then we also have like pruning shears here that I cut off legs with, sometimes necks.
This is the high carbon steel also.
Well, you do whatever you have. If you have a sharp knife, just make sure it's sharp. You know, you don't have to go buy high dollar equipment. And a sharpener. Yes, if you have a sharpener, you have sharp knives. You know. A razor knife? Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you could. You just got to be careful with the razor knife because you don't have a whole lot to hold on to. If that chicken goes and moves it, it's really easy to cut yourself. That's why I like this one. It has enough handle that I can get a hold of. Okay, 'cause this is my goat skin and deer skin and everything else now. Okay, but I can hold on to this and control that bird and control that knife. But you know what this is? Sharpening steel. You use high carbon. Roll that edge back into place. This is an old one.
Okay.
Chicken's ready.
She ready? How's her water? We're about 150 something there. What is this one? So another thing to do is put a little soap in the water because it's like a surfactant, and what I always use is Basic H, and we had from Shackley, and we've got a Shackley dealer over there. That Basic H, use it for everything. You can put it in your chicken water, and you can take your wallpaper off with it, and you clean your vegetables with it, and you make window cleaner. It's the best. It is like you could just have a thing of Basic H and nothing else in your house, and it'll last you forever. Okay, so he's gonna do that. He's scalding it. Oh, she's boiling. So I just swish him around a little bit. He's counting 1,000. Woo! Nope. Little more. Little more. Okay. Well, whatever. Whatever you think. How you doing? Pull the feather out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good there. See how easy that just like you didn't have to yank on it? Okay, so okay, Gary, who's getting that? Hang on. Get closer, Tanya. Don't get in front of this guy. Gary, stand to the side a little bit. Oh man, Gary, you are doing it. I'm impressed. There's a little stragglers, but yeah, but there sometimes is. Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. Yeah. So, okay. So you really need to be the one doing the plucking on that thing. That's awesome.
Just so you guys know, Craigslist is a great place to find stuff like that. I think that kind of.
Okay, can you do the rest on that, and I'll cut the legs off and cut her open, and I'll kind of tell what you're doing. First, you're getting my towel all dirty. Good night. Okay.
Is there anything else I need to keep clean?
That's about it.
Okay. So I don't know how you guys do it. The first thing I do is eviscerate. I eviscerate first.
Before you cut the legs off?
Yeah, because they make good handles.
Okay. All right, there you go.
I am cutting just beside the vent, and I've got about a 3-inch cut there, all the way down to the top of or bottom of the tail. I'm doing it both sides like that. And then when you cut that to the tail, you're going to be able to see the track that comes to the vent. And you cut below that, make sure you do not cut that track. And there'll usually be a little bit of gristle or fat right there. You can pull it with your fingers. I've cut the skin off right here, and that gives me my opening to eviscerate. Right?
Yeah.
And then I just put my... So I reach my hand in there and get a hold of the gizzard, which you'll feel that when you stick your finger in there. It feels like a big old muscle, which is exactly what it is. It's the gizzard. I get a hold of the gizzard, and sometimes if this one's big enough, and my hands are huge for this, but I can get a hold of the heart too. And I pull it out. And that's the liver, the gizzard, the intestines. That's the liver, the gizzard, and the intestines.
Show them the bowel of what knocked the bust.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely. So there's a green sac on top of that liver. Do not break that. That's the liver bile. And that is the only way you can really make meat unedible, is by getting that on it. Yeah.
Put it in that top.
The whole thing.
Well, let's take the livers off. We got something to put. I don't have anything to put. We'll do those later. I don't have anything.
Then I cut here at the neck. I get in here. I stick my finger in right there. There's a craw. There's a sac that is part of the chicken's digestive tract. Basically, chicken doesn't have teeth, so it goes into its craw.
What do you mean chicken don't have teeth?
Chicken in Kansas don't have teeth. And so I get a hold of that digestive sac there, the craw. I get a hold of it, and I get a hold of the esophagus, and I pull them out. And that's part of the guts. This is my gut bucket. And
Yeah, let's put the livers and stuff in here.
okay. Okay. And then I go back in here, and anything I missed, like I missed the heart on that one, pull that out. And then, Yep. And then I take and stick my middle finger. When you stick your finger in there, you'll feel something spongy against the backbone. And you go all the way this side against the rib cage, and you stick your finger in there, and you ought to be able to roll it out. That's the lungs. There's the lungs. One lung. And then you do it the other way on the other side.
You can use a big tablespoon to scoop them, and then make a little spoon to do that with. But to me, it's a lot easier. You can feel your way around to do it by hand.
Cut the head off. Cut the feet off.
Is there any reason not to cut the feet off first?
They make good handles. If things get wet and they get a little slimy, it's easy to get a hold of your chicken with, so I cut them off last.
Some people save the feet and clean the feet because they go back in and make broth with using the feet. If you're doing that, you want to save and use all the animal, then the feet may be a good thing that you want to use to make broth.
And then after you touch the feet, you need to wipe your hands.
One thing I do with my chickens is I scald the feet also.
Yes.
And when I turn them over backwards, when I grab a hold of it by the wings, my pluckers plucks the feet, strips all the skin off the feet, toenails and all.
I put mine in feet and all too. That way the skin comes off the feet, and then you're not worried. You don't have dirt on them.
You know what? She's talking about the dirt. You'll contaminate the carcass. Okay.
Right.
Now let's see if I can do this one.
So now we're gonna get the gizzard out and the livers.
So I've separated the gizzard. Here's the gizzard. This is part of their digestive system also. And you'll see right here, this is where I cut basically the bowel loose. 2 pieces right there, entrance and an exit. And that's where I start. Do you want me to clean the gizzard now or just leave it like that? Okay, I cut right there. And then I just turn it inside out. And these chickens have had access to plenty of grit. And somewhere here, there's this yellow lining. The yellow lining of this gizzard, you can usually get a hold of it right here somewhere and peel it off. And then I will take it to the water hose and squirt it off a little bit. There we go. That's the clean gizzard. We'll wash it off.
Keep a water hose handy. Get my kombucha over here. Anybody get some kombucha from Heather? It's awesome. Good probiotics. Oh, he's still got liver in there. Alrighty, thank you. We got a bucket here for the livers and the.
We clean the gizzard because they're very edible. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pulling out the edible pieces out of all these guts. So the gizzard, the liver. Anything else you eat?
We do.
I'm afraid to ask.
I was born and raised in Oklahoma.
I know he's born and raised in Oklahoma. I know how they do in Oklahoma.
There's the liver. And I cut the bile off of it basically. I tend to take a little liver with the bile just to be careful not to cut that. And that's just the way I do it. And it's successful for us. We butcher about 300 a year for our market stand. And the rest of this is hog feed. Yeah, or you can put it back in your chicken pen. They'll eat it too.
If you're also processing older hens, sometimes when you go in there, you will actually find the starting of eggs.
Oh my gosh, the other day when I was playing with this chicken plucker, there was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 eggs inside. I always did roosters, so I don't even think I ever did that. But the great comments I got about how people just take it and put it in their dumplings, and yeah, they just don't have a shell on yet. You don't have to break the shell and get shells in your food. You just have the egg yolks right there. Okay. So we're gonna just, if you gotta bear with us a minute, we're gonna get a couple scalded or killed. We'll get a couple people up here. Well, let's get these chickens in the cones. Were we gonna try to do 3? What are we gonna do? Let's do it. Let's do 3. Put 3 in there. Where's he at?
Right there. He's never done it.
Okay, you get up here. You go stand at station 1